Hi, everyone. Let's get started. I want to talk about the work culture of personal values and experiences, especially the language of personal values and personal experiences. This is my contact information, so feel free to email me if you have ideas, things you want to discuss, and we can start a conversation. So, core values at work, which brings up the question, how do we talk about core values at work? Let's start with the big picture. And by big picture, I mean just this. All of us are human beings. Now here's the thing. Human beings have a lot of traits and qualities. We have different human strengths and human weaknesses. We have intuition, emotions, instinct, and intellect. We have different working styles and learning styles and different types of creativity. We are mind, body, and heart. And all of these things are going on at the same time. And the result is, we are messy. We are complex. We are intricate. The fact that we are all messy and complex is a good thing. Because when we embrace the whole human being, we are at our best. Martin Buber says, as human beings, our greatest gift to each other is when we make life possible for each other. And we make life possible for the entire person, not just their physical life, but their quality of life. Martin Luther King, who was a great civil rights leader here in the United States, says that every life should be marked in 3 directions: length, breadth, and height. The length is about the self-respect, dignity, and self-excellence. The breadth is about caring for others, family, community, relationships at home and at work. And height is about being greater than oneself, having a personal investment in something larger than oneself. Federico Fellini said it in a different way. He said that all of us need to live spherically in many directions at once. What this says is we need to address the entire person, all of who we are. So when we communicate, we need to communicate to the entire person in many directions at once, with our emotions, our values, and our intellect, with our head and our heart. So when we communicate about work, the traditional way is to talk about programs and directives and practices and regulations, and all of this is incredibly important for the workplace. This is the realm of the mind, logic, and intellect, all of which are crucial for good work. The difficulty is that human beings are more than their intellect. They are thoughts, feelings, values, community, and culture, and all of this makes up the entire person. So this is the potential gift of work. It has the potential to support the entire person. So why do we work? Well, first of all, there are the absolute essentials of food, shelter, clothing, health, and fulfilling responsibilities so that we can take care of our families and our friends. But after these essential needs are met, work can meet other human needs. Work can be an opportunity to express who we are and experience who we are, because work is one way that we bring ourselves to the world. We can express who we are through our values, identity, our relationships, our community, and culture. We can experience who we are through our values of dignity, self-respect, and our personal excellence. Philip Tetlock defines core values as moral needs that we are unwilling to compromise, including family, community, dignity, and respect. Now, there are a lot of times when core values are compromised, but they aren't forgotten. Even when they're being compromised, people are aware of it. So what role do these core values play? Here's an example: motivations. Motivations can be described as external and internal. External motivations originate from outside of oneself. For example, they are how regulations are often implemented at work. The thing is, external motivations are difficult to sustain over time when they are the only motivations. Internal motivations are those core values that lie within each of us. We own our core values. They carry us through our successes and our failures. and the behaviors that they generate can be sustained over a long period of time. People who are driven mostly by their internal motivations have the greatest success in meeting their goals. And then there's commitment. Commitment comes in two forms, rational and emotional. Rational commitment is about time, talent, and energy. It's the commitment a worker makes in order to be paid. Emotional commitment is about passion and purpose. It is about the core values. The Corporate Leadership Council found that emotional commitment is 4 times as valuable as rational commitment at work. So yes, the intellect is very important in the workplace. But there is more. Antonio Damasio, who's a neuroscientist, says, "We are not thinking machines. We are feeling machines that think." Greg Epstein says reason itself is the tool, an incredible tool. But when we see it as the end product, we miss the point. So what is the end product? The entire person. The entire person, living and working in many directions, exploring how far we can grow. This is my favorite quote from Marshall McLuhan. The medium is the message. And what that means is at work, we, each of us, are the message. How we communicate with each other and treat each other is the message. So what is the language of this message? What is the language of core values? Well, it needs to be different from the language of organization and structures and strategies. So it needs to be a language that is personal, about personal experiences, knowledge, emotions, and insights. It needs to be about the whole human being. It needs to be about the head and heart. So, what are the words that can reach both the head and the heart to bring compassion and empathy, understanding and guidance? Well, here's an example. Intersectionality. Here in the United States, this word is being used a lot when they discuss diversity, in looking at how many different groups people divide themselves into. Political groups, social groups, economic groups, and the idea of intersectionality is that all these groups overlap. And that's a great concept. But what if we just say we're all connected? Intellectually, I can understand intersectionality, but when we say we are all connected, I have a personal experience with that. I know what it feels like to feel connected. Here's another word that's used, stewardship, which is a very important concept in leadership. The thing is, a parent does not say, "I'm a good steward for my family." A parent says, "I take care of my family. I take care of my children." In work, we talk about deliverables and accountability. And that's important, but why don't we just talk about doing good work? Then there's team functionality. Team functionality, again, is another important aspect of work. But when I interview workers and I ask them about their team, you know what they say? We are like a family. That's what's important to them. So how can we talk to each other about work? By talking to the entire person and honoring the entire person. Communicating with our core values about our safe work, our good work, our human work. Best wishes to you, your families, and your friends. Thank you.